I just moved. I'm, I'm to the house.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. That is the covenant that the Muslim has with his Lord. And we start this program today because this here is Monday morning programming on American Muslim 360. My name is William Kareem, and the name of the program is Living in the Upload Life. Yes, living in the upload life. The upload life has a lot to do with artificial intelligence these days. So we should be reminded, what is artificial intelligence? Well, you may have heard about the rise of artificial intelligence, or AI, technology that is having an enormous impact on business and society right now. But what is it? And what does it mean in practical terms for the lifestyle of older adults? Well, there's a lot of promotion about it. And, younger people, they pick it up just like that, just like that. I took uh, I was at the train station, Long Island Railroad train station, and I had to take a cab from the train station to get home. And so I got in the cab, and um, the driver wanted to get on YouTube, and he had his phone, but he didn't know how to do it. Uh, and today, the way that things go today, they are just, I mean, it can be very, very confusing for older adults because the technology just continuously changes. At one time, you could just say, oh, put in www.youtube.com, and boom, YouTube would come right to you. But now, you have to register for YouTube, okay? And in registering for YouTube, you have to give them information. What kind of information? Well, you got to at least have a email address. Now, do you have an email address? Well, if you have an email address, then you can use YouTube today. Oh, you forgot your password? Oh, what's your email address? And they will send a message to your email address. And then when they send the message to your email address, you can click that message, and then they will ask you some more questions. Do you want to reset your password? Uh, 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 what we're going to do, we're going to change your password. Oh, well, or we're going to change your password, or we're going to create a password for you. And then once they create the password for you, they say, what's your telephone number? Well, your cell phone number. And then you have to give them your cell phone number. We're going to send a message to your cell phone to verify that it's you that's trying to get on YouTube. All right, send a message. So they send the message, and sometimes the message comes through just like that, but sometimes it takes a while. And then sometimes the message doesn't come through at all. And then they'll ask you, well, did the message come through? No. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you another way that you can. What's your email address? And so you have to give them your email address again. We're going to send a message to your email address. I'm telling you. So they send the message to you, and sometimes the message will come through just like that, but sometimes it might take 5 minutes, 10 minutes for the email message to come through. Why? Well, it all depends on the connection that you have, whether you use Verizon or whether you use Spectrum or whether you use AT&T or whether, and it all depends on the connection that one of these servers has in your area, and that the message will come through. Or it may be that there are so many people that are on platform trying to send messages that it just takes a longer time for your message to come through. So eventually, say the message comes through, and then you have to reset your email. Okay, congratulations. So you reset your email. And so at one time, you could put in 4 characters for your email for to your password. Then they made it to 6. Then they made it to 8. Then they made it to 10. Today, it's 12. So now you have to create a password that you must remember. You have to remember the password. Okay. So right there on the spot, you create a password. Capital A B C D E F capital A B C D E F G H I J J 1 2. Okay. So up to J is 10. And then, because they want you to put in a capital letter, they want you to put in a lowercase letter, they want you to put in a number, and they want you to put in a special character. So this is all that has to be done just to create a password today, because there are so many people that are utilizing modern technology, and there are some people that just sit around trying to be obstructive, and so they'll try to get your get into your email account, so that they might be able to redirect maybe special correspondence that might be coming to you. This is the circumstance and situation that happens when you participate in the upload life, when you participate in wanting to watch YouTube, or wanting to get free tickets to the Nets game, and then they ask you for your Ticketmaster account, and you haven't used Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster is where you buy your tickets to go see plays, events, or things like that. So you haven't used your Ticketmaster account for a long time, so you forgot it. But in order to get the free tickets, to see the basketball game, now you have to go back to Ticketmaster, because this is where the free tickets are going to be sent to your Ticketmaster account. And so now you have to go through the same thing. Well, I done forgot my Ticketmaster email address. Oh, you forgot it? Okay. So then what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to create a new password for you. I got to go through this again? Yes, you got to go through this again. So they say, well, what's your email address? Okay, so you're giving me your email address. Okay, we're going to send something to your email address. Okay. Um, what's your password? Well, I forgot my password. I haven't used my Ticketmaster account for a long time. Okay, we're going to create a new password for you. Okay, we're going to send a message to your telephone. What's your telephone number? Um, okay. Did you receive the message? Okay, so now that you're here, congratulations. Okay, go ahead and create a new email address for your Ticketmaster account. So now I got to create a new email address for my Ticketmaster account, and I have to remember it. But right then and there, I'm on the phone. I'm like, oh, let me see. I gotta do a new Ticketmaster. So I'll create a new one. And it can't be 8, it can't be 10, it's got to be 12. Remember, it's got to have one capital letter, it's got to have a lowercase letter, it's got to have number, and it has to have a special character. So, so right there on the spot, you think of something. A B C D E F G H I J 1 2 $. So you put it in. You can't use that one because that's one that you've already used before. What? So now you have to use another one. A B C D E F G H I J H I HIJ K 12 dollar sign. And then you put that in. Congratulations, it's been changed. So what did you change? You just changed one letter. Instead of being going up to J, you went up to K. You put 12, and then you put dollar sign. So the email address has basically changed. Okay. So now I'm, I'm going to answer. We do have a couple of hands, but just give me a moment, because, like I said, I was taking a cab ride, and this is what I had to go through with the with the with the cab driver, because the cab driver was not familiar with this system of, the upload life of participating, because he wanted to watch YouTube. He wanted YouTube. And this is what they made him go through in order to get YouTube on his cell phone. They made him all the steps that I just told you about. I had to do yesterday for Ticketmaster in order for me to get the free tickets to see the basketball game. And then all of this I had to do for this gentleman that was in the car, because and he was like, here, just take my phone. I need to get on YouTube, man. Look, what do I need to do? So that was his situation. But uh this is what you call artificial intelligence. This is part of it. This is just part of artificial intelligence. This is just part of living in the upload life. Okay, 810-399. Assalamu alaikum. Your microphone is open. Take yourself off
Well,
mute.
make my yeah, I just took it off. Well, make my salam to you, Brother Kareem, and to the AM 360 listenership. This is the priest Abdul Hadi calling from Flint, Michigan, where the weather is cold still. Alhamdulillah. But you
Alhamdulillah.
know, now you say like you're supposed to get something free, right? Whatever it is, tickets, trip, or whatever. Okay. If your phone number done changed, oh, you ain't finna get nothing. Nope. What is your phone number? My phone number is 810. What it is now? Okay. Well, that's not the number we have on file. So you got to start trying to figure out what number. Okay. So if you figure out the old number, but you don't have that telephone anymore,
That's
nope.
right.
You're not who you say you are. So it'll send you through so much AI stuff, send you through so much, and you just say, you know what? I don't want the free tickets. That's okay. It's good. I'm good. I'm straight.
And that's what
It
happens with
frustrates you.
yeah, that's what happens with the pioneer generation as far as this stuff is concerned. But it's because they're trying to really just basically, they're trying to basically protect themselves, because you got so many people out of there that just don't have anything else
Mhm.
to do but try to get your information, and for many many reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to share that. Thank you so kindly. But
Thank
you know,
you.
well, no, brother,
Yes.
even if you get through all of that stuff, a hacker is a hacker, and if they want to get in there, you can change it to Zula City, and they gonna still find out about a way to get into your account.
You're right. Many times that's true, and so that's why we. But then what it creates is a sense of panic for older
Mhm.
adults using it, because it's like, oh, somebody, they're gonna get my information. Oh, it creates that kind of situation. So then you wind up being fearful of being online. We wind up being fearful of being online. We wind up being fearful of using artificial intelligence, because we think that, like people, are trying to get us. It puts us in that frame of mind. And the way to think about that,
Mhm.
so that there's no panic, is that and I'll give you the example. I was on the train, and a woman was holding her phone. She was holding her phone up like this here, and she was looking at the screen. But there was a person sitting in front of her, across from her, and he
Mhm.
said, Why are you taking my picture?
Mm.
And the young lady was like, she was shocked and was like, I'm not taking your picture. And yes, yes, you are. You're taking my picture. I don't want you taking my picture. And so
Mm.
I asked him, I said, do you work for the CIA? Are you an important person?
Mm.
This camera's all over the city. They have your picture. So you know, like why should that why are you bothered by that? They have your information already. So, you know, why so that's what I'm saying, that you know, if you're an important person, if you're doing business, you got $1 billion, like, well, you just got $100,000, or you just got $50,000 that somebody, and you don't want to, make sure that nobody gets your $50,000. You want to make sure that nobody can corrupt your business. Yeah, yeah, okay, you might have a level of concern. However, if you're just a regular person, what's the problem? What's the problem? They already have our information. Thank you, sister.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And sometimes, William, when they holding their phone up like that, they trying to get a reception.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to get a
Mm-hmm.
reception, or they just feel comfortable, reading the telephone like that in front of them. But they should be regardful, though. She should have been a little
To
regard,
that.
yeah, to that situation. Yeah, yeah. Sister Martha, assalamu alaikum.
Now, I will say thank you, Depreetha, for sharing that part too. Yeah, William, whew, I've gone through that and I called Social Security looking for information. And they had my old phone number. And I've had seven numbers. And I had to figure out, and the young lady helped me. I called out number after number after number. She said, what was that one you just said? And that did I had to remember. Oh Lord, I don't remember the first three numbers of the last digits I just said, but I got it. Praise be to Allah. But because how they're operating, it was like, oh, you can go into your account, but we'll send a thing to your phone, as you said. And you couldn't change your phone number until you got into, and you couldn't go into the office because they're on layoff, right? They were on the layoff. So
Yes,
now, as well as that, your email, if you're out of storage, your email will stop receiving the information. So you're
that's
tied again. It's saying you're out of storage. So the other thing is saying, click here to get more storage, and you can return to your email. So yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
That's
This
what
is
I wanted to
another.
point.
Yeah, that's another ploy that's being used today. They have actually monetized storage. Storage has become monetized. Is that they will give you, say, they'll give you um, a certain amount of storage space, and with that storage space, you go ahead and you use that storage space to put um, a video. You use that storage space to put pictures. You use that storage space to put messages. So and especially when you use video, video takes up a lot of storage space. Video takes up gigabytes gigabytes of information. And so you do a 2 minute video, and it can take up 1 gigabyte just for a 2 minute video that you want to save it on your phone because from a family, or a community event or something like that. So you want to go ahead and you want to save it, so you save it on your phone, and then you go to another situation. Oh, this is my granddaughter, and you take a video of it, and then but you use it for 5 minutes now. So you got, instead of 2 gigabytes, you got 10 gigabytes of information that you done used in your storage. So becomes important to understand the way that megabytes and gigabytes work. A message can be megabytes, but when you take video, video is gigabytes of information. You take a photo is megabytes. JPEG or MP4. You record a song, that's an MP3. An MP3 song will take up some, say, and if you record the whole song, it might take up 20 megabytes of information. But when you record a video, remember the video is doing audio and visual, audio and visual at the same time. So it's putting all that together. So it takes a lot of megabytes that turn into gigabytes of information that's actually being stored on your phone. So then they said, well, listen, I'll give you another 10 gigabytes for 99 cents a month so that you can keep, using storage. You can keep, using your video on your Google account or whatever account. As a matter of fact, I just found out that my premium has gone up on YouTube. It used to be $14.99. Now it's $20. It's $20 from and I'm like, no, it was $13.99, and now it's actually $20. That's how much it's going up. As for to use YouTube as premium YouTube, uh, on my YouTube account, and then they want some more money because they say that you have, the storage situation. That's what they're talking about also, that they wanted to do that. So it becomes important to just understand the way that those those ideas work in the culture, in the artificial intelligence landscape. Just and those are just basics. That's just basic, and we shouldn't forget that. And maybe, like, I'm doing a show called Living in an Upload Life. Maybe, any questions that anybody has regarding that, we should, talk about it. That's why we're talking about it on Living in the Upload Life, living with artificial intelligence, living with this situation. I will tell you this also, and that there's a famous case that's going on in Atlanta, Georgia, and the district attorney is Fannie Willis. Okay, and what she did is she brought an indictment against uh, some of Donald Trump's supporters who tried to uh, obstruct justice by acting as if they were legislators, but they weren't really legislators. They were fake legislators. And they did it in Georgia. And so it was um, it was found out that there were a number of people that did this, and they got caught. They got caught for doing it. So, Fannie Willis, who was the district attorney at the time, brought charges against them. In the process of bringing charges against them, the lawyer that represented these co-conspirators, the lawyer that represented them, what this lawyer did is this lawyer went and requested information, public information from the from the Georgia government. And Fannie Willis, being a public servant, um, had to give up the information. She didn't have to. The reason why she had to give it up, because that's the way that she set up her process for the 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 state attorney office, that if you wanted information, trying to be transparent and open, if you want information about anything that's going on in our district, then just ask for it and we'll give it to you. Well, the lawyer winded up accusing Fannie Willis of having a relationship with another one of her uh, employees, and that it negatively affected the trial, because it was like they were conspiring together to charge and prosecute the co-conspirators. But it was because her office decided to give up the information free of charge. So then not only did this lawyer utilize the information about Fannie Willis and all of her lawyers that were on the case by requesting information from that her district attorney office, but other people from all over the country started requesting information from that district attorney's office. And it became overwhelming because they were then getting the information and trying to use it to discredit the district attorney and her prosecution of the co-conspirators. And the judge in the case found Fannie Willis, the district attorney, guilty of trying to obstruct the justice that these co-conspirators were receiving. And so he ruled against Fannie Willis. Right now, I mean, that's just the short of it. The court, that case is now up to the Supreme Court. And so we'll see what happens with that. But she was recently brought before the Georgia Senate, and they were asking her questions about the case. And they said, well, why did you decide to bring the case against the co-conspirators? And she had a very plain answer. And her answer was, because they came in my county and committed a crime. It was just that simple. Because they came in my community and they committed a crime. That's why we were prosecuting them. Of course, all of them got off because, the current administration, the federal government administration, let all of them off. And so they had to drop the case. But again, the district attorney appealed the case, which is now in the Supreme Court. So we'll see where that's at. But the whole point is this that I'm making is that these were people that knew how to use the system to get this free information. And then they took that information and they used it against the district attorney. That's what they did. So now Fannie Willis says that what she has to do, she was trying to do the right thing by giving out the information for free, but now she has to charge because people just abuse the system. And unfortunately, that's what people do. People wind up abusing the system to that degree. And like I said, we can understand why someone would Fannie Willis being a district attorney in her office is important. So we understand why, they have to be extra careful and sensitive about the way that they use their information. But us, you think that, well, somebody wants to, William Kareem, well, you'd be doing me a compliment. I would be honored. You thought I was that important? Oh, we're going to get his information and we're going to use his information against him, William Kareem, because William Kareem is, he does a show on American Muslim 360 called Stories in the Upload Life, and Stories of the Lives of the Prophets. Oh, we're going to get his information. Oh, me? You going to get my information? Oh, I would be so honored. I would be so honored because you would be saying I'm important, or you would be saying that the information that I'm giving out is important. So I invite you. I invite you. Come on, please, bring some charges against me. I would appreciate it. I would feel so very important. All right, forget it. Don't bring the charges. I don't want to go through the headache. I don't go through it. So that's what we're talking about. This whole idea about, artificial intelligence to that degree, and being able to navigate the system today, the technology today. And that's, and one of the other ways that we can help ourselves is to utilize our children and grandchildren, because our children and grandchildren have a natural ability to be able to, do those kind of things, because this is the current culture that our children and grandchildren live in. And so, they can take the phones and they know how to get around all of this here. They know how to get around these things. So, if you wind up having a problem with it, or when we have problems to that degree, then it's good to utilize our children and grandchildren, because they're more up to date with those things than we are. And like I said, the technology is continuously changing. And see, we are the kind of pioneers. We want it to stay the same. We don't want it to change. We want it to stay the same so that we know how to work with it. But technology just keeps on changing it, keeps on changing, moving it forward. And to a great degree, you can see that this is it's kind of like a power move to a great degree, because they have something that you don't have. They have an ability to do something that you don't have the ability to do. So when I was at the Black Caucus meeting, I did meet with someone that, because they made a book that's as AI for older adults. And this was at the uh, Congressional Black Caucus effort that happened in August of 2025. I was there, and Sister Martha, representing American Muslim 360, was there also. And so I was able to talk to somebody um, uh, about, what should happen, about, what should I tell older adults, pioneers, about working with AI. And so they this was some of the ideas that they made sure to tell me that I should communicate to the pioneers, that everything that's on the internet is not gospel. It's not gospel. Everything is that, just because somebody says it on the internet, it doesn't make it gospel. You still have to get the facts around anything that somebody says. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they was telling me that there's a Jackson Hole, which is a restaurant on 125th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. And so I've never seen a Jackson Hole. I'm telling you, there's a Jackson Hole on 125th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. I mean, there was such conviction about this being said. So what I did, I pulled out the cell phone and put in Jackson Hole locations. And when I put in Jackson Hole locations, it didn't say that it was on 125th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. So the person had to figure out. But the way that they said it was with such conviction. So by pulling out the phone and just saying Jackson Hole locations, we were able to get the fact. So right now, what happens on YouTube, people get on and say a whole many different things, express many different ideas. And we sit there and people sit there and watch it. When I say we, I'm talking about, the whole of American society. We sit there and watch it and take it as gospel and take it as fact. So that's what the person was saying, that to make sure that you can check it out yourself for the fact of the matter. He was saying that once you open the door of artificial intelligence, once you open up the door of YouTube and start exposing ourselves to its content, that it can become habitual. Uh, uh, it winds up being a digital habit. And if it becomes a digital habit, that means that it can become an adult addiction. This is what the person was telling me. And he actually told me this too, which made a connection, a parallel connection. He said the same way that older adults, pioneers, have an understanding of it. It's the same thing that young children have as far as being on the internet. Because once you let young children on the internet, they can take the content and take it as gospel because they don't know how to how to say what the facts are. So they wind up taking it as, well, I'm talking about young people. I'm talking about children. I'm not talking about, and even children, even adolescents, young children, teenagers can take it as gospel. It's but in particular, children that are under 12 years old, they can take it as gospel because and you know what they do as far as young children are concerned. They will show you bunnies talking. They will show you this is what they do in the movies. They show you bunnies talking, they show you foxes talking, they'll send you birds talking, and you become, young kids be like, oh yeah, yeah, oh that's what it is. Oh, okay. But then it becomes important for them to understand that birds don't talk. Dogs don't talk. Cats don't talk. And these things that you're seeing in these movies, these animated movies, they're not real. They are made up. Parts of they are a story that's being told. So they're using these characters as human beings, like they're human beings, giving them the ability to talk. And so and so like I said, under 12 years old, all this information is taken in to that degree. I'll give you a very good example. The movie Tarzan that we came up with. I came up with there was a movie called Tarzan. It was about a white man who lived in the jungle, and he could talk to the apes, and he could fight tigers and lions. I mean, and the natives in there, they couldn't do any of that, but he was able to do that. And I mean, it gave a sense of reality that this was the realistic fact about, Tarzan, what they can do. Now, today, what they're doing as far as creating artificial images is these movies where uh, you see these guys who can shoot, who can utilize guns and shoot from behind their back on top of their head. Standing on their head, they can shoot guns around their back. Um, uh, their hands move so fast that like you can't even see them, and it gives the impression that the human being has that type of capability. Human being doesn't have that type of capability. It's just a fascination. It's the human being using his imagination to go ahead and create these characters. But the question becomes, do you know the reality of it? Do you know the reality of that human beings can't be that accurate as far as firing guns is concerned, or can't be that quick as far as using martial arts? As a matter of fact, and if you remember, in the Chinese restaurants, they used to use a ploy in the Chinese restaurants because this is when the kung fu phase came out. Bruce Lee, came out, and when Bruce Lee was real. He was a real guy, man. He was real with what it was that he was able to do. Um, but people, the Chinese restaurants used to put a picture of Bruce Lee in their restaurant to let them know that, yo, I know karate. Bruce Lee is my family. Don't mess around in here, because if you do, we'll give you a karate chop, or give you a roundhouse kick. If you try to mess with us. And it worked. It worked. It worked. You didn't hear about people coming into Chinese restaurants and robbing Chinese. At least I didn't. Maybe not in here in New York City. I didn't hear that. Maybe you did, but in New York City, it didn't happen like that. All right, so this is some of the ideas about artificial intelligence that's actually going on today, in the way that that is actually working in the society. Um, and it's the important word in artificial intelligence is the word artificial, meaning what? That it's not real. Artificial means it's not real. All right. So it's not real intelligence. No, real intelligence is the intelligence that we get from Allah's creation. That's the real intelligence. The human being had developed his intelligence by recognizing the signs that were in Allah's creation. And that's what the creation tells us. The Quran says, Surah 7, verse 54 says, don't you see that the day goes into the night goes into the day, each seeking the other with rapid succession, and the sun and moon are on courses exactly computed. Okay, so you've read this before, but that's what it's basically saying. It's saying, don't you see that the day follows the night and the night follows the day, each seeking the other in rapid succession. So what comes after day? Night. What comes after night? Day. What comes after day? Night. What comes after the night? Day. And it continues over and over and over again. And so, when you see that, you understand that that's a rhythm. Day, night, day, night. And then Allah tells us, and Allah put the sun and moon on courses that are exactly computed. The same thing. Courses that are exactly computed is a rhythm. Courses that are exactly computed is going to take 30 days for the moon to go around the earth. It's going to take 30 days. All of the planets in the solar system, it has a time frame that is exactly computed. All of the planets. So, it is Allah that created that and created that rhythm. And now the human being, comes to find out about that. That's how he found out about it. The human being found out about, he was able to observe the animals in the creation, and he watched what the animals was eating. And then, that's how he started to eat. If they were eating leaves, the human being started trying to eat leaves. If the animal tried to, kill something and eat it, and then the human being tried it. Because at one time, the human being didn't know what the heck to do. He had to read the signs in Allah's creation. The human being had to read the signs in Allah's creation in the beginning of establishing intelligence, because this was the signs that the creator of the heavens and earth put in the creation, and the human being watched the other parts of creation, what the other parts of the creation was doing. Oh, look at that. Oh, look what the bee is doing. The bee, oh, wow, he's creating honey. Oh, let me see if I can taste that honey. Oh, man, that honey tastes good. Oh, let me watch this. Oh, look at the ant. Look at what the ant is doing, how the ant is working so much. Oh, look how how the earth is giving me seasons. That is that is springtime. And in the spring, what happens? Well, the plants the leaves start to come onto the trees in the springtime. Oh, wow, isn't that something? Uh, uh, the summertime comes. Oh, the flowers are in full bloom. Oh, wow. The fall comes. Wow. The leaves are starting to fall off the trees. The winter comes. Oh, wow. There's no leaves on the tree. It's cold outside. Wow. But these are signs that the creator has put in his creation for the human being to actually develop intelligence. So this is real intelligence, and this is where real intelligence comes from. And those ideas that Allah put in creation are ideas that we still use today. Everybody, especially as far as food, clothing, and shelter. As far as our food is concerned, all of our food comes from Allah's creation. It don't come from some other place. It comes from Allah's creation. And then the human being takes it and then gets creative with it. So now, like we have human beings, like I'm just talking about here in the American circumstance. We have human beings in American circumstance that come from Mexico, that come from China, that come from Pakistan, that come from Russia, that come from Japan, that come from all different countries. And you can go to here in America, we can go to the Chinese restaurant, the Japanese restaurants, the Mexican restaurant, the American restaurant, the Italian restaurant, and we are able to utilize the creative ideas that these various people have used by taking the foods from the creation and being creative with it. But all of the food comes from a lost creation. That's just the truth of the matter. That's just the truth of the matter. The Mexican uses flour to make the bread. So does the Italian. The Mexican does tacos with flour, right? The Italian does what? He does pizza with flour. The Japanese, what do? They go ahead and use rice and fish and put it together and make sushi. All right. So there's these various ways that people have learned to utilize the same thing in a large creation, but because they come from different cultures, they might go ahead and utilize it in a certain way. But that's the development of intelligence. That's natural intelligence. When we talk about artificial intelligence only is available in the upload life. Artificial intelligence is available on your phone, your computer. Artificial intelligence is available. So Kareem Hamid has his hand raised. Assalamu alaikum, Kareem Hamid.
Wa alaikum assalam, and I extend the greetings of peace to everyone. Praise be to Allah. Uh, AI is the going rage now.
Yes.
And what is happening, they are attempting to replace the human being.
You think so?
Well, it is causing massive unemployment in middle management.
Got it.
In middle management.
Yes.
Uh, and it's creating, they're trying to replace the human being.
Right.
But there are some shortfalls coming. The AI can only give out the information that is deposited within it. That's all. But if there's a situation that occurs out of the non-ordinary, then the AI cannot figure that out because it's only giving what was placed in it. Imam Abdul Aziz, he was online and he was utilizing AI, and they was giving some perspective on a part of El Islam, and he saw an error, and through some way he contacted them and informed them, and they corrected the error.
Yes.
So you are so correct. It is not just gospel,
Right.
It's not, and to try to replace the human brain, the human brain, the greatest gift that Allah has given us is human brain and rational thought and reasoning. Now, what am I saying? When I was in grade school, in our math class, a problem would be given to us, and you may have the answer. You raise your hand, but the instructor, all right, you've got the answer, but the instructor will ask you to come to the blackboard and show how you received that result. Now that calls for thought and thinking. But when people just get the answer, that's all
Take it
they
for
have.
gospel. take it for
Right.
gospel.
They
Yeah.
take it for God
Yeah.
and the ability to think and to reason, you know, and to how did you reach that conclusion? Well,
Yes. Yes.
uh, I know two times four is eight, you know.
No, it's
Uh,
9. It's 9.
yeah, yeah. So, we do need a second opinion on certain things. Last night I tried to make a, a, a purchase online
Right.
using my a debit card, and it was declined. Uh, and I received a notice that said I have fraud protection on my bank account, and they had shut my debit card down, so I couldn't complete that purchase. So I have to call them and order another debit card. So I don't have access for I don't for however long it'll take for them to send the new debit card. And here is one more thing that I got to say. We very seldom can talk to or speak to a human person.
True. Good
You
point.
right, you are
The better businesses always have human customer service. Go ahead, Kareem. The better,
yes,
yes.
yes, sir. They
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
And so you can ask a question
Yes.
of that robot that they got there or whatever.
Yeah,
Uh, so that does cause a problem, no doubt
it
about
does.
it.
Yes.
This high tech, I've shared this before on AM 360, and I would like to share this now from Klaus Schwab. He's
Charles
the
Schwab?
Yes, sir. He is
Yeah.
the founder of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, and they meet annually. And he
Right.
was speaking of the proliferation of digital technology, the digital revolution. It demands a different and more human kind of leadership. He says, what will the big topic at Davos be this year? He said, we are we are at the tipping point of a whole variety of interconnected technologies. All right. But here's the statement that he really shared that I hope we grasp. He said, I've yeah, if we don't want to be dominated by technology, we have to become a more human society. What leadership style, what capabilities do we need to master all these technology, all of this technologies?
Yeah.
All of these technologies, I believe we need to emphasize the more human aspect in leadership as a counterweight to all of these technological advances. If we think about what a human being is, and because of brains and heart, what we can replace, what we can replace is a robot. What we can't, what we can replace, pardon me,
Right.
is
I
a
got you. I
robot
know where you're going.
like
Go ahead.
brain.
Yeah,
But you never will replicate the heart,
that's right.
which is passion, compassion. He said, which enables us to believe the robot will never have the ability to believe in something. So perhaps we will have, at the end of this revolution, possibly, possibly, a basis for a new human experience.
Kareem, on that, I would say that suppose you did replace humans, then it's not going to be good for business
No.
because if the human being is not able to generate income in order to barter for products and services, then I mean, then you're not going to have a society that where the human being is actually able to generate income. So, you can use I think that, and I think companies understand that. I think they understand to a great degree that you cannot just, use artificial intelligence and technology to replace human beings to that degree, because if you do that, then you're not going to have human beings able to generate income to support the services that these businesses provide.
Yes. Yes. A consumer base
Yes, you
or
you always
eliminate
right.
customer.
Yeah, you always have to have a consumer base, and especially like in American society, which is totally consumer driven. We are some of the uh we consume so much as human consumption. Talking about, they say that we are a consumer based society, Americans.
Mhm.
That's what they say, that we are. That's why China was always, selling us so much product. Other countries were showing us so much product that, if China was supposed to cut off the products for us, that, it would force us to go ahead and make Nike sneakers. I remember Dave Chappelle saying that the current administration's leader said that, like, yo, we gonna start our own sneaker factory over here. And Dave Chappelle was like, for what? Why we want to do that? What, so I could pay $3,000 for a pair of sneakers? I don't want to pay them. Let them people stay over there making those sneakers, because when they come over here, they're not as expensive. And it's very true. It's very true as far as that's concerned. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Kareem,
Yes, sir.
for saying that. Yeah, this whole idea about replacing humans. Again, we have to be able to think about the facts as far as is concerned. You replace the human beings, then you replace the consumption. You replace the human beings with technology to that degree, then you won't have consumers. And then again, I will say, and this is very important, I don't deal with companies that don't have human contact, human customer service, where I can get on the phone and talk to somebody. I don't deal with companies like that, especially banks that don't have that. Oh no, you're not going to get my business. And it's and hotels and other industries, I can't get on the phone and talk to you, then I'm not going to deal with you as far as my business dealings is concerned. You're not going to get it, because I mean, like I said, I have found that the best companies make sure that they have a human customer service available for their people. And as you remember, there were businesses that hired human customer service from other countries, especially India, Pakistan, and you get on and be like, just, can I help you today?
You can barely understand what they are saying in a heavy accent. Yes.
But these were companies that were trying to uh, uh, have customer service, but were trying to have it at a discount, as opposed to paying American citizens for that. They found that they could pay people in another country less money, and all they had to do is be able to speak English. We don't even understand what the heck they were saying, but that's what they put in place. They put
Yes.
that in place as far as human customer service. But the best companies, they have customer service that has people that know how to speak the American language, so that there's a real communication. Well, we're at 9 o'clock. and ask. Thank you so very much, Kareem, for that information.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Praise to
And
Allah.
I would say that that last comment that you made about us becoming a more human society, we pray Allah, we pray Allah, we pray Allah that that's what happens as far as our society is concerned. And I believe that it will happen. I just think that right now we're going through a rough patch as
Yes,
far
sir.
as this administration is concerned. We're just going through a rough patch. But it's also a learning experience, I believe, that we're going through because sometimes like we talked about, the human being can be very ignorant and just accept whatever people say, and you don't have the facts. You
Right.
don't have the facts. But right now, there's so much BS that's coming through. Oh yeah, we're doing great, man. Oh, the economy is A plus, A plus 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 plus. Yeah, we're doing great. The prices of everything is going down. I mean, and then you got people behind who say, yeah, yes, yes, it is. But there are many people that do a fact check on that and say, no, that's not what the situation is. So I don't think, and I think that what will wind up happening as far as our society is concerned, our society will see that, and our society see it. They wind up voting people out, and I don't think that when you lie to people, when people start catching your lie, that it's not going to be a good thing. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for participating. And now I want to give it over to Sister Martha Nala Abdullah. Don't forget 10 o'clock on 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we have a New Day Community Radio with Ibn Yaqub Islam, where we'll play Imam W.D. Muhammad in the first hour, and then Ibn Yaqub Islam will come on and talk about reviving the Quran and Sunnah. But we also have some other programs going on in Muslim media, especially on American Muslim 360. And I'm going to turn over the mic to our sister Martha Nala Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Martha.
Alaikum assalam. And yes, and that number is for a New Day Community Radio
Oh,
971
yes,
379
yes.
9162.
Ameen.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
And for those,
Alhamdulillah.
please, at 1 p.m., please come right back over to American Muslim 360. It's just a turning of your chair. And you come back here and 1 p.m. We're on the second week with Imam Muhammad Abdullah Alim, and he's taking us through a civic course, pretty much, but an in-depth one connected with the history, aligning it with the history of Imam Warthi Muhammad's language, logic, and the institute of that understanding as being a factor and how we can benefit from it. So please return at 1 p.m. for MAP 5. That's where Imam Muhammad Abdul Alim will be sharing from. He began last week, so if you want to go to last Monday's presentation on YouTube, go to America Muslim 360 Daily Broadcasts. All right, and you'll get the information there as to how he's proceeding and wanting to proceed. That's what a Muslim American My Power 5 is. The honorable group of Cheryl Saduth, um, Amatullah Laji Sabri, and Fleming Elamine. That's at
Ameen.
1 p.m. to 3. Then 5 p.m. to 7 is Imam Abdul Shahid, who comes with optimal health. And then 7 to 8 p.m. is Imam Abdul Aziz with Maya Alekul Hal, together under all any circumstances. And following that, 8 p.m., I think, is a conversation with uh, Graceline. And look
Oh,
forward
okay.
to Graceline.
Yes.
This year is going to be so impactful with information coming from by way of CWSC. We're going to be playing the end of. We're going to be playing a meeting that we held earlier this year, mid-year, and we'll play it because it is an assessment process that was discussed about CWSC, including William Kareem's voice and
Alhamdulillah.
Imam Omar Shakir and Munira Habil Umar and Khalida Akbar and myself. We were processing it, but you'll understand when you hear it. But this is the month of Rajab. As far as the North America come in yesterday, Saturday night, excuse me. So yesterday was the first daylight of Rajab. Rajab is paying attention to the levels of our development, the levels of the earth and its atmosphere, tropospheres, how we are affected by it, and the levels of of what has been prophetically known as the ascension
Is
of
this a
Prophet
sacred?
Muhammad and how that
This
relates.
a sacred month?
Yes, this is the
I mean,
sacred month, Rajab, the
and
seventh
this is
month.
you say
So that
this is
number
the month that
seven,
the prophet made the ascension? Allahu
correct.
Akbar. Alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillah. That's
I mean,
that
whew,
ascension was so important, and so brothers and sisters, oh, you got to know Islam, and I mean,
I
if
mean,
you knew the importance of this, what we're talking about here. See, we just don't want to talk to the Muslim about it, but we want to
right,
encourage you, invite you, because there's so much logic and common sense in it on how this whole thing developed, and we're talking about the month. And every year, the month of Rajab comes about because it's what the first month or 10th month or what is it?
seventh. It's the seventh. That
It's
number
the
seven.
it's the seventh month of the Muslim calendar. I mean, there's so much wisdom that is in what we're talking about, brothers and sisters. It's important to study Islam. It's important to study it, and no other better place to study it is right here on American Muslim 360. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, and I want to point out, I just AI. I stumbled upon it with Kareem and Michael's presentation last evening on the Fitra. So now that means that we have to be more proficient in sharing what the Fitra is. Perhaps those who spoke to it, they were speaking about the circumcision. Okay, so we have to talk about what that circumcision is referring to, rather than just saying the male gets circumcised. The shaving of the beard or pruning the beard, and that's what they considered as the fitra. What That's the information that was fed to AI. So now we have to take it to saying the natural disposition of the
How do you
human of the
spell? How do you spell?
child.
How do you spell
Oh,
spell Fitra?
uh, Fitrah is how we spell
Okay.
it in the using the English language.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I said, "Wow, this is just about grooming. Grooming is necessary, the disposition or the pattern of growth of the original nature of the human being,
Mm.
from its physical aspect, from its mental aspect, moral, the fitra is the natural pattern for when, like you're saying, reading creation. We look at, oh, well, these two things came together and there was a new population. You feel that urge and stimulating yourself, and you don't know what you're supposed to do with that stimulation.
Well,
You definitely don't take it to.
we're talking about AI, and so if you ask AI, what does
Uh-huh.
Fitra mean? AI says fitris means in Arabic, means, if we're supposed to be in English, humans' innate, pure, natural disposition or original constitution,
Mm-hmm.
which inclines people towards recognizing God or recognizing the one who created them, seeking truth and understanding basic morality like justice and compassion. It's the internal compass humans are born with, guiding them to what is good and right. Though it can be corrupted by external influences, according to Islamic belief, the
Mm-hmm.
concept also includes natural inclinations for cleanliness and proper grooming, as mentioned in Hadith. Beautiful. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Those of
Some
you
of the,
who don't understand that you might not understand Islam just by understanding fitra, that's how you use artificial intelligence. You go ahead and put it in F. That's why I asked sister, how do you spell it? So that if you wanted to read it for yourself or you want to do further investigation, that's one of the ways also that you can do it. Uh,
Also, William, if
yes.
I may,
Yeah.
for someone that wants to know and in Islamic terminology, yes, they can use AI, but it is better to speak with a human, educated Muslim
Yes. Yeah.
that is more in depth. Yes,
That's
sir.
true. Yeah, yeah, to speak with. Yeah. But you can get a basic idea, a
Yes.
general idea,
Mhm.
as far as, Islam, and there's a couple of things that was mentioned. Rajab was mentioned. You want to know the, basic idea about Rajab, just put in Rajab. What does Rajab mean? And it'll give you a basic understanding of what it is. You want to know what fitra is. You want to know what Alhamdulillah is. You want to know what Allahu Akbar is. You want to know these basic meanings so that when you start talking to a human, you have some idea of, what's going on as far as it's concerned. Yeah. Well, Sister Martha, did you have anything else that you wanted to say?
Just stay in connection with everyone with our website. And William, I want you to get
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, and I have to tell you that because you're talking. Say it
Babble.
again. So say it again.
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I want to get a New Day for Al Islam Community Radio on our website as a plug-in. Okay, alhamdulillah. That was babble, right?
No, that's why I wanted to make sure I understood that.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum all.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you all, and I'm looking forward. Don't forget tomorrow, William Kareem will be back with you again on Stories of the Lives of the Prophets by Ibn Kathir, where we read from that, which is a great read, very good information about Islam. It's also on that. We present that. So tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. 8 o'clock. Right here on AM 360. And the other thing that I want to say, you can on YouTube, you can put in AM 360. Just put in AM 360 and it'll bring you to it also. We also want to encourage you to go to AM 360 and like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Like the videos and subscribe to the channel. And that would help us out tremendously. Thank you again, brothers and sisters, and Sister Martha. Looking forward to being with you, and Brother Kareem Hamid and Sister Deprecia Hadi. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam.